Good morning, Malaysia. This is Matthias Chang once again from Future Fast Forward. It's almost 3 weeks since I last talked to you, and there's a reason. And I said before, I only speak as and when it is necessary. But this time, it took a while longer because upon the announcement that President Trump has invited Najib to the White House for the 12th of September meeting, everyone in the country, almost everyone who have heard the news, were very excited. Some obviously on the part of the UMNO camp, the wonkies and cronies of Najib were exhilarated, happy, joyful that there you are, at last we have an ammunition, a nuclear weapon to whack the opposition. And then there are some in the opposition ranks which says, oh my God, how can President Trump be so stupid to invite a kleptocrat to White House, thereby giving credence to the credit and integrity of Najib, and he will thereby come home glorious with the victorious stance that he has the backing and endorsement of Trump to continue as a rightful champion, leader of the Malays and the country, and blah, blah, blah. And most of the comments were either on this side of the equation, false optimism, or negativity. But what I want to say to you this morning, my fellow Malaysians, I'm very confident and sure that what I will say to you will surprise all of you. That, come what may, after visiting America and after having some photo shoot or press conference with President Trump, Najib is actually going to his Waterloo. Now, why did I say that? Pause. In all my previous 69 video speeches, I've always told all of you, surrender to the will of Allah. I repeat, surrender to the will of Allah. Have absolute faith that He will protect us, defend us, and guide us under all circumstances, in the face of all enemies, adversities, and challenges. And that I have repeatedly said, Allah works in mysterious ways. Have I not said that? How many of you, in times of challenges, stress, we are looking at a dark hole, a dark tunnel, and can't see the light, have you implored Allah to your aid, or show by your actions, your words, your thoughts, that your faith in Allah is never shaken? It's absolute. Because if you have, you would not, if you are an UMNO member, a Barisan flunky, to be so artificially optimistic. In fact, you should contemplate and say, what could be the backlash of such a visit? Was it wise, opportune, or timely? And on this other equation, you would have pause and ask yourself, what is in Allah's plan to facilitate at this juncture for Najib to be invited to the White House to have a meeting with President Trump? Now, before I go on further, many of you have said Trump is stupid, idiotic, a joke for inviting Najib to Malaysia, sorry, to USA. He's a crook, a kleptocrat. Why should he do that? So let me pause here for a while and share with you my thoughts and experience and knowledge as to what goes on in the real world, in particular, geopolitical strategy and tactics and rivalry. Throughout history, don't ever forget that Britain was an imperial power, global power, and things from that point of view in self-interest. When Britain lost the global power and America took ascendancy and became the replacement of British Empire for Pax Americana, the foreign policy are likewise imperial. Focus on its self-interest. How best global politics, geopolitics can serve the interests of America. Okay? And then you will understand why the US government, and before that the British government, have such strange, difficult to understand foreign policy. But let me say to you, if you recall, there was a famous expression when describing dictators, tyrants, war criminals of countries throughout the world. And when asked by journalists, by pundits, as to what is the attitude of the imperial power of the White House, or at number 10, Downing Street, the Americans, without exception, save Donald Trump, because he doesn't make the statement yet, but all previous presidents prior to Donald Trump has said, starting with Harry Truman in the Second World War, that tyrants, dictators, war criminals of third world countries, Africa, South America, Asia, they are bastards. They are bastards. But they are our bastard. You see? The contempt which Imperial President of the White House or the Imperial Prime Minister of 10 Downing Street has towards tyrants, kleptocrats, crooks, criminals who hold office of power in the third world countries. They are bastards, but our bastard. Meaning, as a matter of imperial policy, imperial power at 10 Downing Street or White House don't give a shit about a country in which these tyrants and dictators wield power. So long as these bastards serve the interests of America, before that Britain. Okay? And this is not my words. President Truman says, when he was asked what was his attitude to the brutal Nicaraguan dictator Somoza, he replied, "He's a bastard, but he's our bastard." Likewise, thereafter, Nixon, Roosevelt, and thereon, Johnson, you name it. All of them consider any nasty ruler who does not respect democracy, human rights, and freedom of the people, they are bastards. But they are our bastards. Meaning, they're going to say to those bastards, "Hey bastard, lick my ass. Do as I tell you, or I will whack you." They don't have interest in their country. It's economic interest, political, or any interest. So long as that bastard serves the interests of in power to counter any geopolitical enemies in any part of the world. You got that? That is why whenever a country has a leader which shows independence of thought or policy, they will have regime change, coup d'etat, revolution, counter-revolution to install their bastard. You got that? To install their bastard. Having said that, okay, and normally CIA is usually used to effect regime change, coup d'etat, and revolution. Now it's very interesting. All right, you will recall that around 10th of August, Rex Tillerson, the Secretary of State for Donald Trump, came to Malaysia on a trip to a summit, right? I mean, he also visited Thailand, I believe Singapore and Philippines. He also visited Malaysia. On the 10th of August, the timing, DOJ announced to the whole world that he has made an application to suspend the civil procedure for forfeiture of all the assets and Jolo, Rizal assets on all the crooks, the Arab bunch of crooks. Their assets are frozen. But to suspend them so that they can then proceed with criminal proceedings. Pause here for a while. Let me explain to you a very simple principle of law. Like I said before, to forfeit assets in the criminal proceedings, you first have to commence criminal proceedings against the accused, the crooks, the criminals, and when a conviction is handed down, then they sapu the assets. In the meantime, the crooks, the launderers, the racketeers can hide, dispose, sell, or whatever, all these assets. And the criminal proceedings will take time. So to circumvent and prevent the dissipation, the sale, unlawful sale, all right, the hiding away, the transfer of assets, there is a procedure in civil law called forfeiture in America, whereby you go to court, you get an order of forfeiture based on the burden of proof prima facie. In civil case, to prove a case, the burden is on the balance of probabilities. Once DOJ tells a court on the balance of probabilities, these bastards will dissipate the assets, give us an order first to freeze the assets pending the trial, to maintain the status quo so that those assets, if we win the case, DOJ says, those assets will be there to be sold and realized. Likewise in Malaysia, in civil case, we have what we call, as I've explained before, Merima injunction and the Anton Bill order. If the borrower, if the defendant is a crook, wants to dissipate, destroy documents, transfer assets, you go to court in a civil procedure, get a Merima injunction and Anton Bill order to preserve the assets. Those happen. Now, once everything has been seized, which has happened now in America, then DOJ has a better opportunity to move to the criminal case. Stop here. Civil case, balance of probabilities, prima facie case, lighter burden of proof. So when DOJ says we would now proceed with criminal proceedings against Jolo, Rizal Aziz, MO1, what have you, that means they are very confident. Though in the criminal proceedings, the burden of proof is very high, to prove beyond all reasonable doubt the guilt of the accused. So when they do that, that means they're telling the whole world, we can prove the criminality, the guilt of these scumbags, these crooks, these money launderers. You understand? And you recall that A.J. Apani says, the AG Chambers of Malaysia will only file criminal proceedings if they are very sure of victory. If they're not sure of victory, of conviction, they won't proceed. Not my words. Attorney General Apandi, quoting the former Attorney General, Gani Patel. We are only going to proceed with conviction, with proceedings, if we are very confident of conviction. Applying that standard to what DOJ announced on 10th of August. What does it mean? They have closed the gates. The fence has been completed. The criminals have been surrounded. And they're going to whack them. And having SSB now forfeited in the hands of the court, no way can they dissipate assets. And on conviction of these crooks, the assets are there. Sudah sapu lah, understand? So, think and pause, my fellow Malaysians. Why, simultaneously with the visit of Rex Tillerson to see Najib, DOJ announced, we're going to proceed with criminal proceedings because, quoting and like by analogy, Apandi, we are confident of success in getting conviction. Oh my God, when that was announced, I can guarantee you, Najib, Jolo, Razak, and all his scumbags who are involved in that corruption, money laundering, is shivering. Their dumbbells, their balls are shaking, clanging. And notice, on such a visit, you have thought the front page of Straits Times, Malay Mail, Star, Utusan Malaysia, Utusan Melayu, the line. Front page. Photo shoot next to Rex Tillerson shaking hands. Blah, blah, blah. And boast. Wow. Rex Tillerson came to my office, to Malaysia doorstep, to pay homage to Najib. But surprisingly, silencio. You can hear the pin drop. No coverage whatsoever. And then Rex went back to the White House. Then came the invitation from Trump. Now, some of you says, oh my God, Trump invited Najib. Oh my God, how can he be so stupid? Is it in diplomatic language? Even when you order a foreign leader, or even when you summon the foreign leader to kowtow, they don't say we summon him, or we order him. We invite him to come to White House. Okay? And if that bastard was been summoned to the White House, who is their bastard, lick us, and kowtow, then do you expect Margaret Thatcher, John Majors, Blair, David Cameron, Theresa May, Prime Minister of England, or Clinton, Obama, Trump, Reagan, Nixon, Johnson to say, we have summoned him and he kowtow and lick our ass? No! They don't do that. In the world of diplomacy and geopolitics, everyone understands what goes on. And of course, if at all, after the visit, there is a press conference. And somebody is like, we have, for example, President Trump and Najib says, we have a comprehensive discussion. We've agreed on all aspects of discussion. Blah, blah, blah. We will remain steadfast friends, blah, blah, blah. It means nothing in diplomatic language unless you understand the nuances. That means he has sudah kowtow. That leader is licking ass. But there's nobody to say it. And then Big Brother will say, okay, You've agreed, comprehensive agreement. You want to remain steadfast as friends to the US, you better behave, huh? Or else we're going to whack you. We're going to whack you. Understand? Get a picture now? Let's then now go back again to just this point. See, when Najib played golf with Obama, he boasted that Najib is the first prime minister in the world to play golf with Obama, the US president. Blah, blah, blah. Now, if you are so close to Obama, perfect partner, understand? Why did DOJ, while Obama was the president, and Clinton was so powerful, DOJ filed the civil complaint in 2016 before Trump became president? Does it make sense to you? If you play golf with me, we are friends. Why should I whack you? Ask yourself, Malaysians, if you play golf with me, we are friends. All of a sudden, I whack you. I open you to ridicule, embarrassment, internationally, and say, I'm investigating you, your government, your cronies, and this is the largest kleptocracy investigation. It's a slap, 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 slap in the face of the target, isn't it, leader? So what made Obama and Clinton slap, slap, slap the target? This is the $1 trillion question. So, let's pause here. We fast forward to today. I'm telling you, Najib has been summoned to go to America after the discussion between Rex Tillerson and Najib. You may not believe me, never mind. And I'm telling you, come what may, in any event, this trip by Najib will destroy him. In any event, it will enhance, intensify, and allow the whole country and the world to come to an inevitable conclusion that Najib is guilty of the charges in the DOJ complaint. You see, surprisingly, factual, in the DOJ complaint, there was reference to one person, right? Mission official, one, bracket, MO1. No name was mentioned. Wife was what? MO1. And you recall the Attorney General says, tak apa. Nama Najib tu Razak tak keluar. It's not in the complaint. Nama Rosmah tak ada in the complaint. So he's not referred in the complaint. Tak ada masalah. Tak ada crisis jenayah. Civil. No proceedings. He's innocent because his name is not in the complaint. Najib or Rosmah. You understand that? This Apandi said this, not me. Apandi, remember that? But then, there was a traitor, not very smart, because Najib wants it right, loyal but not smart assholes. There was such an asshole in the ranks of Najib's camp. Rahman Dahlan. So Rahman Dahlan says, one MO1 is Najib. Wife of MO1, Rosmah. Baru dia cakap. After DOJ said, money was diverted by Tan Kim Loong from BSI Bank in conspiracy with Jolo to buy the jewelry. 121 million US, you know? Buy the bubbles, okay? So you have a minister saying, MO1, Najib. Wife of MO1, Rosmah. Tetapi, if he says, tak ada nama dalam komplain, tak guna lah, tak apa. Okay? It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. Okay? So let's take for argument's sake, AG Appendi punya version. Okay? There's no reference to Najib. MO1 bukan Najib. Wife of MO1 bukan Rosmah. Ini civil case untuk aset, not criminal case against the Prime Minister or his wife. Kalau ini macam, why should Najib worry, is it? Why should Rosmah worry, is it? Nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. Notwithstanding Rahman Dahlan has admitted and let the cat out of the bag. MO1 is Najib, wife of MO1 was Rosmah. Okay? Now, can you see now what I'm arriving at? If you believe in Allah, Allah will clarify your mind. You can see my next words coming out very quickly. Because all of you have no faith in Allah, that's why you're confused. You think Najib will come back successful. Now I'm going to say to you, if Najib goes to America as opined by his cronies, barking dogs, cyber troopers, that because Donald Trump is a deal maker, because you wrote the book Art of the Deal, Najib through his lobbyists dan lain-lain, bolehlah selesai masalah lawan MDB dan bolehlah enter into a special deal with Trump. You withdraw the DOJ complaint, and I will lick the ass of America, and I'll be the bastard America to counter China, who has invested over 100 billion in Malaysia. Now, whoever advised Najib, or if Najib think he can do a deal with Trump, withdraw the DOJ claim, and I'll be the best friend of America, I'll be the bastard as Somoza was referred to as bastard. Alright? Mubarak Egypt was referred to as a bastard. Saddam Hussein was referred as a bastard. Alright? Then pause. If the DOJ did not even give his name in the complaint, as Apani says, why should Najib enter in a bargain to ask Trump withdraw the claim? If he's not the subject matter of the investigation, his name was not mentioned. You understand? So simple. The moment he tells Trump, this is why Trump is very clever, withdraw the DOJ claim, habislah cerita. Najib will have the balls of been squeezed, Najib balls, Trump. Now you've openly asked me to withdraw the claim against you in exchange to be an ally to counter China. Habis cerita, that means you admit you are involved. Otherwise, why you bargain? Why you do a deal with me? So if Najib enters with the bargain, ask for withdraw the DOJ claim, habis, that means Najib admits to the guilt. What NDB has already admitted to the guilt because they paid a fine to Bank Negara. Remember 2016? Paid a fine, okay, and admit to the guilt under the Financial Services Act. So what NDB admitted to the guilt by paying the fine? Najib is asking Trump to withdraw the claim when his name is not mentioned as per Apandi. He has admitted to the guilt. You think he can come back and tell the whole world and bluff rakyat? Hey, Trump supported me. I'm okay. And menang Pilihan Raya 14? No way. That will be the clearest indication, okay, that he's willing to sell his soul, his heart, his mind, his body for survival, regardless of the integrity, the humiliation of Malaysia. He has prostituted himself to avoid persecution in America at the expense of Malaysia and Malaysians to be the licking ass dog, whatever of Trump. What do you want? In fact, my fellow Malaysians, My prayers be answered by Allah. I've told you Allah works in mysterious ways. Who would have thought Najib so stupid to go to America to think of entering into such a bargain? Trump has given us poison chalice to Najib. Drink it and you may be safe temporarily. But you're still a bastard. Our bastard. And now you're going to go against China on our command. Okay? Do you think, if at all there was agreement withdraw, and Najib doesn't obey and implement, they can't reinstitute the charge? Of course they can. AG can institute. Withdrawal is not acquittal. Okay? There's no double jeopardy. There's no acquittal. Only withdraw, like discharge, right? Not amounted to acquittal. You see? See, he's asking Trump to withdraw, when even his name was not mentioned. You must tell the difference. Remember, Lee Leong Sik was charged. In the course of the proceedings, Lee Leong Sik told AG, you don't have evidence. Withdraw to give face to AG. AG persisted, but lost the case because there was no evidence against Lee Leong Sik. Therefore, Lee Leong Sik give face, okay, to AG. But AG was proven to be wrong, so it was acquitted. Testimony from Tun Mahathir and other ministers says, right, the charge is incorrect. Therefore, he has every right to ask AG to withdraw. Even though Ling was named in the charge for a criminal offense, but there was no evidence. Here, can you see? If Najib asked AG and Trump to withdraw proceedings when he's not even named, something's not right, isn't it? That means there's evidence. I told you. You only prosecute, in accordance with Apani's word, if you're very sure to win. That's why he's shivering, sweating. Alternatively, he goes to America. He can't get withdrawal of the claim. Itu pun habis cerita. If he can't get DOJ to withdraw the charge and the criminal proceedings, habislah. Matter of time, he'll be convicted. Joel will be convicted. Rizal Aziz will be convicted, isn't it? Either way, he's in trouble. That means he could not convince Trump to do the deal. Because Trump would say, no way, lick my ass first. Prove to me you're reliable. Fight China. Then maybe I will think of withdrawing the charge. You see? Either scenario, kaput, capis, finito. Now, how many of you put on a thinking cap and think the way I think? Instead of panicking, making all kinds of stupid statements, okay, and giving some kind of credence. There was journalists who say that, like, wow, Najib is very clever. Can arrange a meeting with Trump. I can show you. In that meeting, there'll be a press conference, maybe, a photo shoot. But the diplomatic language does not mean what it says. Does not mean what it says. And assuming now, Najib temporarily take the side of America. You think the China has put so much money in Malaysia will let go Najib? Billy Ma 11 MDB, Bandar Malaysia, energy assets, ERL, what have you? No way. No way. Therefore, as in my previous speeches I said, right, remember Libya. Remember Libya. China invested heavily in Libya. When America, Britain, Blair, Obama, NATO realized China sapu so much oil assets, infrastructure of Libya, they give a warning to China. 3 hari lah. Vamos! Vamos! Get out of Libya. Because we were bombed in 3 days. China, vamos! Ran with the tail behind the legs. And they have not enough vessels and airplanes to evacuate 38,000 China Kwai. Professionals, officials, private sector. They can't even know. Can you imagine all the assets destroyed in the war? Ships came from Cyprus, Greece, Turkey, Italy, helped to evacuate 38,000 Chinese. Every investment was destroyed completely. Because Obama, the false Muslim, which all of you Wahhabis say he's a good guy, right? Destroyed a Muslim country to punish China. Destroyed a Muslim country. Murdered a Muslim leader to destroy a what? China Kwai investment. The same will happen to Malaysia, I'm warning you. But I believe Trump would not even have to invade Malaysia. Just like in Libya, you think China can send planes, missiles to fight US in Malaysia? No. They're not ready yet. So if Najib tried to play China's backside, all US to do is, right, sabotage our economy. It's enough. No need war. Sabotage our economy, destroy our currency to teach a lesson to this Najib. And it will be again whacking a Muslim country to counter China Kwai. You see now? Why I say I'm not really excited or nervous, about this trip. It's a no-win situation, Najib. Deal or no deal, press conference, whatever photo shoot, I'm telling you, he's coming back from America with a tail between his legs and his testicles tied up, and he don't know what to do, and he will walk funny. Okay? I'm telling you, this is a geopolitical implication of this visit. He still got time, 12 next week. I suggest he better turn down the invitation. It's not an invitation, it's a summon. You think he can turn down a summon by a Prime Minister, by the President of USA? Summon, couched in the word of invitation. Diplomatic language. So what happens is that in the last 1.5 years, unlike previous wisdom of our Prime Ministers, particularly his own father, Tun Razak, was responsible for the foundation of the policy, ZOPAN, Zone of Peace and Neutrality, and implemented to the fullest, to the hilt, by Tun Mahathir when he was Prime Minister, that we are a small country, Southeast Asia, ASEAN will not be a war zone, it will be neutral. Zone of peace and neutrality. We welcome everyone, we are friends all. But this guy, Najib, has prostituted to China. Why? He needed money. Because he can't get money anymore from Goldman Sachs. Habis. What he borrowed was stolen and money laundered. No banks will ever give any loans to 1MDB or to Najib to Jolo. Habis. So where will you go? Like in Malaysia, kalau you tak boleh pinjam duit dari bank-bank, kemana you pergi? To ask for the loans. Where? Alung lah. Faham tak? Alung. Cina kuih alung, no? Atau Cetia, money lender. And China is the money lender. He went to China, Alung. So Alung give no problem. I give you 100 billion or more. And this interest rates and all this other security, ports, airports, and what have you. And you know, kalau you tak bayar balik pinjaman atau utang, Alung, Cetia, dia ada debt collection today. Baseball bat, kena hantar awak nikat lah. Picah awak punya kaki, tangan, badan lah. Dia pergi awak rumah bukan kacau you. Ini Alung punya tactics. So, tapi Yahudi The Jew, Goldman Sachs, dia nak pakai itu baseball bat. Ini very crude lah, Loong punya taktik. Ini Jew, dia global banker, global financier. Bila dia tak bayar duit, tak bayar balik hutang, tak kacau, you know what itu? Dia hantam negara. Bukan baseball bat. Negara dia hantam. As the rakyat. Inilah yang masalahnya besar, terbesar. Okay, see now, what has Najib regime has exposed Malaysia. We are now naked. So to all my Malays friends and Muslim friends, Libya, a Muslim country, Gaddafi, a Muslim leader, destroyed, murdered to counter Chinese Loong. The same will happen to Malaysia. China Loong lawan kepada siapa? Yahudi, Zionist, Goldman Sachs. Ini satu analogy lah, comparison. Okay. Seluruh sejarah history Yahudi punya money lender, dia tak pakai baseball bat tau. They're global, so they whack the country, understand? Loong would use baseball bat with kneecaps. Can you see the difference? So you think the trip by Najib to America can be used and turned around by stupid propaganda cyber troopers to say inilah satu endorsement, approval of Najib punya administration or regime. Tak. Don't be so stupid and confused. So all Malays, all Muslims especially, you are the majority of this country. Kalau you tidur, tutup mata, act stupid, bury your head in the sand to show your backside, you will end up like the Muslims in Libya and Iraq. Whack! This is what I call Allah punya cleansing fire. To clean the betrayal of Islam and the betrayal of Allah. Just as in the Quran, when Allah sent Musa to warn the Pharaoh, jangan disobey arahan Allah. Let Moses go. Tapi Pharaoh, dia kurang ajar bukan? Arrogant bukan? Scolded Musa. When Musa crossed the Red Sea, he chased after Musa, drowned and killed. Lepas itu, Egypt suffered 7 years of plague, disease. The country was destroyed by Allah. Cleansing fire. Because they never learned. So we better pray to Allah and follow the Quran. If the Muslim in this country does not turn the back on Wahhabism and the Wahhabis and follow the true teachings of Islam and Allah punya arahan, we end up like Libya, Iraq, and Syria. Tapi Syria had a defense of Russia and Hezbollah. That's the difference. So what's going to happen? This is a final warning. Okay. So let me show to you. Inilah satu summary of my talk. Any exchange or withdrawal of DOJ case for kowtowing to President Trump and the US deep state, maksud Najib confessed amidst his guilt and sold his country utterly for his own survival. Habis cerita. Use a handphone for a stat, get it viral. Okay? This is a summary in essence of my speech today. Yang kedua, what is the geopolitical issue summary? Ialah China, Chinese Loong versus Goldman Sachs Jew, global money versus Chinese money. Loong pakai baseball bat and kneecaps versus financial rape of Malaysia. Learn from 97, 98. Idiots. Soros Yahudi bukan. Attack Thailand, Malaysia, Korea, Philippines semua attack. Jew. Tetapi pada masa itu, pada zaman Tun Mahathir, what happened? We counter attack because we are honest, we are true, we are fight. We did not kowtow, we did not prostitute to anybody, we fought, we won. And everywhere after that, World Bank, IMF, Harvard said, Tun Mahathir is right. Has special courses to learn from Tun Mahathir business strategy. Now you want to follow Najib? Dia sudah lelong so many assets to China Alung. Dan saudara pinjam duit dari Yahudi Goldman Sachs. Both dia utang duit. Both. Dua pihak pun sekarang marah kepada Malaysia, pada kaum Melayu, kaum Islam. Jangan bagi excuse for them to whack us. And this man goes there, according to UMNO punya propaganda, to win support of Trump. Hey, you people who say Trump is stupid, he's a clown. Buka mata lah. Kalau ada otak, use the brains lah. You think he's stupid lah. He's a billionaire. He cannot be a president of the United States of America if he's stupid, okay? He will whack. If he try, Najib, use this. No way, I'm telling you. No way. So in conclusion, let me tell all of you, fellow Malaysians, be strong. You're weak, you talk rubbish, talk in bull, and write funny messages and send to me, WhatsApp, email, saying, alamak, susah lah ini, you know. Najib nak menang, lepas dia balik dari Amerika Syarikat, pilihan raya dia mesti menang sebab USA endorse dia. Kenapa dia Amerika endorse dia? Dia arrest me supposedly for getting foreign AG to prosecute the criminals, accused dengan PAS foreign interference in Malaysia. Bukan ini kah? Interference. Najib pergi ke sana. Please help me, endorse me so I can win the election. Ini bukan interference. It's worse than interference. Jual belakang lah, selling the backside to a foreign power. And you guys out there, right? Can you see the dirt, the filth, the obvious thing? You can't see it, and you bury your head, argue and talk cock about America Syarikat. How stupid can you be? But never mind, because you don't have enough experience, so I'm not telling you. Don't worry. After the 12, you see what happens. I will explain further. But important, before I conclude, all of us, without exception, Malay, Chinese, Indian, Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, all sembahyang, pray to Allah, sincerely, devotedly, surrender to His will, has absolute faith He will protect, defend and guide us against all adversities, enemies and challenges under all circumstances, and we will win, and we will prevail. Najib has nowhere to go. Roadblock, sini sana, roadblock completely. And now Xi Jinping looking like that, Xi Jinping. Ini celak ni orang. Nak pandai ke? Pergi Amerika Syarikat. Betray me? Watch. See what I do. And Trump said, alamak, ini something. Nak cabut tangan, pakat dengan Cina Kuai Alung. Alamak, ni bodoh lah. Okay lah, let's play this game. The global geopolitical chessboard. Okay? So, you must understand, if you don't understand geopolitical strategy and tactics, right, Malaysia is not in the equation. It's dispensable. So, we have become dispensable as opposed to indispensable sebab Najib sudah prostitute negara to China and America. Habis. So, because of Tun Mahathir, his leadership, dan bersatu tanpa kata, there is the only solution our salvation. Okay? All the things about Mali, RCI, semua diversion. Faham tak? Diversion. And during the visit, when he comes back, lagi diversion. So don't worry. So in conclusion, I wish you a good day. And this whole weekend, jangan, okay? Get excited, right? Steady, okay? We will win, we will prevail. Truth will win, truth will prevail. Justice will win.